Hello!
Woo! What's up, Monday people?
I almost said happy Friday. It's just a real Monday move, I feel.
Yeah. You're still in your Friday weekend mode. That's the issue.
I really am. I saw friends this weekend in person.
Really?
First time. I know.
Who are said friends?
Just some buddies that I play Dungeons and Dragons with, a couple of them.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. What about you? What'd you do?
I also saw friends this weekend. Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
People that I play Dungeons and Dragons with online.
Was it fun?
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, they were kind of, I don't know. I was the life of the party, you know?
Yeah.
I was the one that was really like moving and shaking and telling jokes, and, you know, they just seemed like it was really awkward because they were around people for the first time in a long time. So
yeah, good for you.
You know,
the party that I was at, the one guy just would not stop talking. It was a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, that can happen. You know, when you get cooped up for a long period of time and you finally are allowed to leave the house without a 2-year-old screaming at you, it changes your world.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the good news is, check this out. I got 2 more signatures in the Ravenloft book.
On that beautiful book.
Yeah. The book that I don't really want to...
We are talking about ourselves. You're right. Oh, Robin Nicole says, what? You play D&D with other people than me?
Yeah.
Found out.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone in chat.
Happy Monday.
Hello, Morgan. Peter Brown.
Welcome to the Cooldown.
Shiny 8-bit Boo says, what a coincidence. Hi, everyone. How's everyone's Monday going?
Yeah.
Good,
Any of you get together with friends over the weekend and play D&D? You had a dark beer in that pic, Jared. Yeah. Yeah, it was a red ale, which I always forget how delicious red ales are.
I love a red ale.
Why is that not more of a thing? Everybody makes IPAs, stouts, and then like paler beers like ales and lagers and pilsners. Red ales are just like this freakish phenomenon that nobody ever makes except for Killian's, which only comes out like around St. Patrick's Day. I'm gonna rant about this for another 10 minutes.
Let's get into it. That's what this is for. This is our Monday therapy.
Yeah. Oh man, I love red ale. I love a good red ale. I don't know why it's not more popular.
There's a couple really good Oregon red ales.
Of course.
I'll try to find some for you.
Because all of the good beer comes out of the Pacific Northwest, as we all know.
Yeah, they do. There's some good California beer.
It's true. I was just saying that to get somebody in chat to scream and yell at me for their amazing beer that comes out of whatever state they're currently living in.
Gunsmith Jack says, I'm planning to make a wooden beer.
I don't know what a wooden beer is.
I don't know what that is either.
It sounds
I mostly drink
like
amber ales. I like an amber ale.
Yeah.
I drink this rum called Liquor of the Dead. So good. Drew Bonner Music. Okay, so Drew Bonner Music is in a castle somewhere.
Yeah. Let's hope that wherever he's at, it's later on in the day.
Oh, a concerned citizen of mine says Killian's is so good.
Killian's is great. If you're looking for a red ale that actually is mass produced and you're trying to find it in, you know, try to eat. Oh yeah, Scotty CC83. Oh yeah. I have tried a lot of UK beer. I love
that stopped
cask
you
ale.
Mid-sentence.
I love cask ale. We have to do a show about beer at some point, and we can just taste a bunch of different beers and talk about it. And of course, we'll talk about the Dungeon Run as well. But cask ale from the UK blew my mind. Served at cellar temperature, hand pumped, lower carbonation, lower alcohol content, so you can drink it for breakfast. And that's right, that's what I drank for breakfast when I was in the UK. Because it was cheaper than the bottled water. It was cheaper than the bottled water. You go into the pub, because it's cheaper to eat in the pubs. I feel like this is clipped and
just sent to them as a commercial, because you just monologued about it.
I will. I could talk about beer for a very, very long period of time.
Shiny and Bipu says, I love a good Rainier, and I love Rainier.
Yeah. Rainier beer reminds me of my dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a Northwest.
Do you remember the there was like a bear or something for the ads for Rainier beer. Do you remember that? It was like
vaguely.
Yeah.
And then Olympia's, they're discontinuing. They don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
But they were independently owned. Anyway, hi. So Jared and I could talk about beer for an hour.
Joined us for the beer conversation. This is Beer Talk with your host Katie and Jared.
I don't know what we would have to theme it.
Yeah. We could do that. So this is what I'll do. Okay. I will post something in Patreon, like a poll, saying when we do our beer show, and it's probably going to have to be you and me, although Morgan knows a lot about beer as well. I'll post like a poll asking what areas we should get our beers from, and then I can go to I don't want to go to Bevmo. I'll go to like Total Wine or something where they have a bigger selection, and then I'll get beers from those different areas, and we can get some beers that neither of us have ever had.
Great.
And then we can taste them at the same time, either what we're doing now or in the same place, because we're both vaccinated.
I think we should do a bingle and loving it happy hour is what.
There you go. Well, I don't know if I want to get into hard alcohol, because
it can just be beer.
Is bingle really big on beer though? Is that like are they more of a rum place?
I mean, rum is their specialty cocktail, but you have to have a pint of ale.
That's true.
It's the most like welcoming beverage.
Yeah. Anyway, so when I was in the UK, bottled water was more expensive than the cask ale. We were eating at pubs because my wife and I didn't have a ton of money, and we were traveling around, and we started in London. We went up to Edinburgh, we went over to York, and then over to Bath. And every time we went into a pub, it was the same thing. The bottled water was like 2-3 pounds, and the cask ale was, no joke, between 1 and 2 pounds. And some of these pubs we went into, it would just be like the two of us and some old guy behind the pub that's probably owns it, and he's been there for 40, 50 years. And I would get cask ale. Like, that's what I would drink for breakfast with my beans and, sausage or whatever it's called in the UK. I'm forgetting right now. But It was amazing. And I didn't feel bloated because it was less carbonation. And I didn't really get drunk. It just tasted great.
This is just an infomercial for cask ale. I didn't feel bloated because there was less carbonation.
Yeah.
And I felt great.
Yeah. This is off of one question in the Twitch chat.
Yeah. Beware what you asked Jared today. He's pumped up because I know also Ron was supposed to be here today. Jared is not Ron. Jared is filling in because what I'm saying is because Jared's son, Logan, it was his birthday wish to have his dad on the
Yay!
Because he's two.
He's 2. Can you believe that, chat? Can you believe that? He was a twinkle in my eye when we started this show, and now he's 2.
Like, Logan is how I keep track of how long the show's been
on. Same here.
Is he? Yeah. What are you guys gonna do for his birthday?
We have something planned for this upcoming weekend. We're gonna have, just a handful of people at a park, because we go to the park pretty much every day. I mean, he has so much energy. If I don't take him to the park, then I pay for it. So every day we go to the park for, at least 30 minutes to an hour so he can just run around with his head chopped off. And today we played in a giant sprinkler. So it was like I was 2.
Aw, TK King 137 says, I remember the episode when you had just became a dad. You were glowing.
Yeah.
Oh, and Just Jules says her youngest is 2.
Awesome. So happy birthday to your 2-year-old.
Team Meeple 1, you're coming up on your 1-year Dungeon Run anniversary.
Nice.
Happy 1 year.
We've never even done like an anniversary thing for our show. We've never done like an anniversary, party or anniversary episode, or I guess
not really. I think we made videos on our first year anniversary, just kind of talking about our characters and answering questions. But we haven't done a party.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to do a party sometime. Once we can all see each other.
Yeah.
Which
for
is
sure.
Pretty soon.
For sure. Well, what are we doing? What's the plan?
I think it was Kabuki 17 says your son was born as my first live watch. Aww.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, I actually was texting Alex
Brain's
today.
Kid's about to be 1. I'm just loving hearing about everybody's kiddos.
I was texting Alex today, and he was like, I remember when we didn't think you were going to be coming to that episode because she might go into labor any second.
I remember being very nervous that whole episode because you had your phone on.
I did.
And being like, oh gosh, like,
is it happening now?
At any moment.
Yeah.
Not that you wouldn't make it, but just like, that's such a like, an exciting nervous, but.
Yeah. It was crazy. And then when she actually went into labor, later on that weekend, we did the typical thing where like we have the bags packed and we're all ready to go, and then she's like, I think I'm going into labor, and I was like, okay, we got the stuff, and you know, in the hospitals, luckily it's like 3 blocks away from where we live, so we were, you know, going down to the car, and I was, you know, running back and forth, and the dog's freaking out, and because she doesn't know what's going on.
Right.
And then we went over there, and they were like, yeah, you're like way far along, like you're already dilated, and we're actually going to slow your pregnancy down.
Whoa.
Yeah, because they were so overloaded. There were so many people giving birth at that same time that and they obviously weren't expecting us. Not that they really expect people on specific
they
times.
weren't expecting you makes it sound like you had. Yeah. So anyways, we showed up, and they slowed her down. They were like, if we don't give you the epidural or whatever, then you're going to deliver like now, right this second, with no painkillers whatsoever. Like it would be completely natural, you know, in the moment. So they slowed her down, which was probably a good thing. And then we hung out for a while before she eventually gave birth to him. And it was crazy. I was there the whole time. I was there in the room watching it all go down. Not afraid. I'd seen a lot of animals be born, but this is my first human. It's, you know, similar.
It is actually.
It's very similar. Yeah, it's just animals don't have a hospital, but it's a similar process.
Yeah. I mean, you're in a barn versus in a hospital.
Yeah. I was in my grandma's house when I was born.
You were born in your grandma's house?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
wow. So your mom
to be there.
Your mom did it old school, right? Like there's no painkillers, no nothing. Wow. That's some frontier stuff right there.
My parents were city kids who became frontier people. I don't even know. Country folks.
Yeah. Well, you're from a town of how many people?
I think it might be up to 4 or something, but it was like 350.
Wow. Yeah. So when
I say 350, people think that like 1,000, but no, 350 people
total
with
one stop sign and 1 post office.
Yep, one post office, 1 stop sign. But there's another town nearby that's not big, but there's like little towns nearby as those little towns kind of dot along the highway. Yeah. But it's beautiful. All right. So you all have sent us some lovely questions. So we're going to just jump right in.
Yeah. So just in case there's anybody tuning in, and this is your first cool down, what we typically do is this is a show that is made for our Patreon people. So if you'd like to ask us any question whatsoever, just pop over to our Patreon and ask anything you want. And then we'll answer those questions on the cool down.
Oakard says the Dungeon Run has more viewers than Katie's hometown. It's true.
Probably true.
Yeah.
Probably true.
Well, over double. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's jump into some questions.
Yeah.
Should we just start with general show questions?
Sure.
I think so.
I haven't read any of these, so if I answer them, it's definitely going to be off the cuff.
I mean, that's how I like to do it, because I feel like that's how you get our best answers.
As long as they're not about beer, because then we're going to be here for a couple hours.
Because then you're going to go into your infomercial for, what was it called?
Cascale.
Yeah. Cascale. By Jared Kjack. I could see you.
Don't get me wrong. I love American beer too. I do. I'm just saying it was a religious experience when I had Cascale in the UK. And none of our UK people are even watching this right now, so nobody can like, agree with what I'm saying, but I'm sure somebody out there has had Cascale. Scotty CC83 has had cask ale.
The multiple exclamation points. Yeah, I feel like Aussie beer.
I would love some Aussie beer.
Aussie beer. I'm watching from the UK. Fictitious.
There you
go. What time is it there?
Yeah. I had some New Zealand beer that was absolutely delicious. I had a lot of craft beer when I was in Wellington.
You've been challenged. Gateway Guy says, I feel like we need a poem in prose about cask ale.
And then everybody in the cast just turns to me and be like, Civ, we need to talk about your alcohol issues. This is becoming a problem.
You're like, no, but it's lower alcohol and there's less carbonation, so I feel okay.
And Lily's like, I'm going to write a song about how you need to cut back.
It's called Moderation by Lily Dumblestuck.
Yeah.
Okay. So Bubblegummy has a question for us. It says, the team seems to be in quite the pickle post-heist. Would we call that a heist?
Yeah. Pseudo
attempted heist.
Yeah.
It's astounding to see how small choices can lead up to unexpected aftermaths. Great way of putting it. Speaking of consequences, what has playing D&D taught you about yourselves in regards to when things don't always go according to plan?
Ooh, this is deep.
One. Yeah.
This is a deep question.
We're just jumping right into it.
Yeah. Do you want to?
I feel like you need a cask ale before you can answer.
I wish I had one. I wish I had a little pony keg right here. Although that would just really feed the whole Civ and Jared are the same person and they both have an alcohol problem. Stereotype.
David Genpros says a moderation song might be just as effective as Don't Split the Party song. Yeah, I feel like you're right.
I want to defend myself for a second here. I want to defend myself because there's a lot of people giving us a hard time about splitting the party. And I want to know what you think Civ should have done when he heard the horn and knew that his people, his old vermin people, were definitely, in trouble and possibly life-threatening. Like, is he going to just hang out with his crew and let them have terrible things happen to them? Or is he going to go run off and try to warn them? What else am I going to do? And Jessica, I can also defend because she didn't want to split from the party. She got captured, which is not the same as intentionally splitting the group.
No, she was just trying to save meat from the egg cracking, which I don't think any of us should have stopped her from doing that.
Right. And well, we wouldn't be able to stop her anyways.
No, I'm just saying I don't think just trying to stop would have been the move.
Yeah. Yeah. And then when Lily went off on her own, the only reason why she went off on her own is because she had enough illusion magic to disguise herself, but not Ugo and James. So it would make more sense for her to do that.
It's safer for me to do that. Yeah.
All of these splitting the parties, all of these situations.
It was a four-way split last time, though. You're right, David.
I still want to defend our choices. I think they were in character, and I think they're valid. That being said, we've all talked about this outside of the show. We're not going to split the party anymore.
I mean, it is absolutely going to happen again. I wrote the song and I know it's going to happen again. Okay, so I think in general, plans are rarely going to work out the way you think they are going to. But I think that's something you learn over time.
And in real life or
in real life? Because she said, what has D&D taught you about yourselves in regards to when things don't always go according to plan?
Yeah.
But I think it depends on the plan and how close you are to whatever it is. But it's a control thing, right?
Sure.
Kind of.
You mean like a control thing as in what you can control versus what is out of your control? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because a plan is giving you a semblance of control because you're making an outline, and I'm not saying plans are bad, but you're making an outline and you're putting steps in order of how to reach your goal, basically. And then when things go out of your outline, it's whether or not you're able to let control and go with the flow of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I get what you're putting down.
I don't know. I feel like it depends on the thing, but I become more chill when plans don't go as planned over time.
Well, you're the queen of improv. You're the queen of going with the flow. That's your magic, You know, that's your golden power, is when things don't go as planned, that's when you come in and fix things or hold us together, or, you know, you're nodding like, yeah, I know. I'm the one that always deals with all of your issues.
I don't know if I would have ever said that, but I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I mean, that's honestly, that's in my opinion, and chat can disagree with me if they want, but in my opinion, I think that's one of your biggest strengths, not only as Lily, but also, you know, as an actor and as an entertainer and as a personality and what have you, is that you can take whatever crazy stuff one person is coming up with and whatever their, you know, bizarro thing that's happening over here and go, great, bing, boom, you know, and connect those two together and add some humor to it at the same time.
I try.
Yeah.
I try.
I mean, things got dark for Civ in this last episode, and I think without your comedic relief, it would have been hard to recover from that.
Yeah, we definitely try it. We have to break up the darkness. Your scene was so beautiful, though.
Thanks.
But heartbreaking.
Yeah.
How do you feel like? I feel like Civ is a planner, but I don't know if he would ever be described as a planner, but I do feel like
he's a strategist.
Yeah.
Like, here's my strategy to deal with this situation, but if it doesn't work, then screw it. I'm just going to wing it and do this thing over here. Yeah. He definitely schemer. That's a great way to put it. Wendy the Wicked. Of course you would say that. Wendy the Wicked.
But do you think that has evolved over the course of, I feel like Civ has evolved over the course of the show, of course, but I'm just thinking of just as far as like planning and collaborating. I feel like your trust has gone up, so you're able to be more loose with plans a little bit.
For sure. Yeah. And he's also kind of started to figure out, you know, where everybody's strengths and weaknesses are and who he can rely on for what. And you know, he's still learning. He's still trying to figure out, we are all still trying to figure out what is going on with us as a party, let alone how we fit into the grander scheme of things. You know? Yeah. And Jeff is not making that easy for us, because every time things seem to be going okay, there's a giant wrench that gets thrown into the situation, or we create a situation ourselves with our own wrench. And we walk face first into it.
Well, speaking of which, Bilbo Cragans asked a question. Now that we have some space from the hero of Bengal's unexpected face-to-face encounter with the Ashen Mage, I'm curious what was going through your heads when you rolled initiative. How did you see that encounter playing out if one of you hadn't had such high initiative rolls? Deb?
I have no idea. I mean, it's such a huge, I mean, that's literally the luckiest moment we've had in this entire show.
Absolutely.
Had we not all gotten high initiatives, whoever went last, like whoever went after the Ashen Mage, that person would have been dead.
I actually,
Like
Jeff
I agree. Said, I was going to kill one of you.
And I think the only thing that saved us, I think the only thing that the reason the Ashen Mage wouldn't have killed us is because she wants Fahima, right? And so the only thing that maybe saved us in that counter would have saved us if we hadn't gotten out would be the fact that Fahima wasn't there, and that the Ashen Mage knows that we're something that we can hold over her head.
Oh yeah, if she wants control over Fahima, she just keeps one of us in a cell and says, if you don't do what I want you to do, they're gonna die. Yeah, for sure.
So Fahima, I think, would have saved us.
The Ashen Mage's MO. Like she's this is a long game for her. She is a chess player. She is a mastermind. She is not the, she's not the person that I feel like is going to show up and like fireball us and just start attacking us. I feel like she's the person where, everybody is her puppet. Yanmo is a puppet. Erdenford is a puppet. The cheesemonger is a puppet. And she's using the cheesemonger to puppeteer the oligarchs in Olsvach, which is why click, click, all of a sudden the horn gets blown and, and Lower Strana gets invaded.
Yeah.
Like that's the Ashen Mage's power, is her manipulation.
Well, and also it's a dangerous place for Civ, right? Because you have so much PTSD from Olsvach.
Yeah. Killing that guard, that's
not great.
That's gonna leave a mark. Yeah, there's some people in chat
Panic
that
5 says Civ needs to get away from Olsvach fast. He's a good person, but he's also a survivor, and Olsvach survival costs Civ's his goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, he's really riding the line between force of good and force of evil right now. Really riding that line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Proud of the Realm asks, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that bombshell of a reveal with Fahima. Super excited to watch next episode on my birthday. Oh,
happy birthday.
I still feel like I don't even know everything that Fahima. I feel like we got like half a bombshell.
Yeah, and Civ doesn't know any of that because he's not there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I definitely think there's going to be a chunk of time spent, maybe even the beginning of this next episode, where it's like, okay, Fahima, what can you tell us? What happened? What do you know? Fill in the blanks. For sure.
We definitely are going to have to do a lot of this next episode is also going to depend on what happens with Civ.
Right. And I have no idea what's going to happen, because I have no idea what's going to happen when I get to the vermin.
Right.
Like, that could get dark. And Jeff's not afraid to go there.
No, I know.
So,
I'm worried it's going to become a rescue mission for Civ to get you out of the fray.
I hope not. I hope not. Civ is not an easy person to capture, so it would probably require him being unconscious or, bespelled or something for that to happen. But now there's Mage Guard that are just wandering around with, up to 3rd level spells that we know of, because they can dispel. So they could easily go zip zap, and then Civ is, not going anywhere.
Oh, okay. Here's another question, actually, kind of on the same note from Gimora.
Tiny 8-bit boo. If you buy Cascale, I will definitely be at the next Force of Evil meeting. I will be there.
Oh. You got bought into Force of Evil.
And that's all it took. I was on the line, and then they said, "Hey, Cascale, over here," and I go, "Dee dee 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 dee."
You were very much over that line, if that's all it took. A Cascale.
I kill one guard, and then somebody offers me a Cascale, and all of a sudden, Civ is evil.
We all have our price. Yours is one Cascale.
Yeah.
Okay, Gimora says, how do you think the group will react to the consequences of the failed heist and the deaths of the guard and many others in Low Strana? How does that affect Civ and Lily's future decisions?
Yeah. I mean, I want to get back to you guys as quickly as possible, because I know if I don't, then I'm going to get sucked into the world of Olsvach. Easily sucked into it.
Well, and also, the big thing with all of us, right, is we don't want anybody to die unnecessarily.
Of course.
So that's going to be
Of course. You mean you're talking about the people of Olsvach? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, I mean, I think what we do is now changed, because it doesn't just affect us whether we get out or stay in. Yeah. It's not just our lives that are in danger. Now we've created chaos in a whole city.
Yeah, Morgan had a really good point when I saw him this weekend and we drank beer.
Oh, why didn't you guys invite me?
I don't know. We probably should have. I mean, it would have been great if you were there. Mm-hmm. Awkward, but good.
I'm not awkward.
Awkward for me. It'd be awkward.
Oh, right. Well, you and I don't get along in real life. That's why.
That's true. Yeah. That's very true.
Yeah, it's what people don't know.
Yeah.
We can't stand each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. But over Zoom is perfectly fine. Yeah.
Once I'm in the same physical space as you, though, it really.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. So when I was hanging out with Morgan, he had a really good point. And that was that now that the stakes have been raised and we're the cause of that, and these people are now suffering because of us, it's really against brand, his words, not mine. It's really against brand for the heroes of Bingle to just walk away from that situation. And it's funny because I feel like Civ would be okay walking away because that's what he had to do before. He didn't want to get sucked into what's happening, and so he had to run. But he was alone then. He didn't have the Heroes of Bingle, and so now I guess he could get talked into trying to fight this. But I mean, it's Olsvach. Like that's like trying to fix, and I apologize if anybody's from there, but that's like trying to fix Detroit. It's going to take a lot of time. It's not going to get fixed overnight. And I love Detroit. They have good beer. It's an amazing place.
That's your word. Well, it's fixing anything, right? That's bigger than you.
Yeah.
Because the truth is that we set off something, but that the whole city is in.
I love you, Whisper Josephine. I had a good time in Detroit. I had a great time in Detroit.
Detroit now hates the Dungeon Run.
Yeah.
I've never been to Detroit, but it seems awesome.
Yeah. The food in Detroit was legit. I was very impressed.
I feel like I have someone.
Same dream. How many people from Detroit watch our show? Anyone from Detroit, raise your hand. I'm genuinely curious.
I think that the thing is that we're going to feel responsible for this, right? As the Heroes of Bingle, because I mean, yes, technically we are responsible, but this kind of stuff happens in Olsvach all the time, right? Like this isn't like rare that Lostrana gets the short end of the stick and is tortured. I mean,
Jeff wasn't pulling any punches. He was like, they're being pulled out of their homes and beaten in the streets. Like that's some Gestapo tactics, Yeah. And I don't know if that was happening when Civ left. So I would love to start a revolution. David Gen Pro 1. I would love to start a revolution. But as the watchers of the time stream, here's a question for you, watchers. How many of you want us to stay in Olsvach for 3-4 more episodes? Like if we start a revolution, that's how long it's going to take, in my opinion. It's going to take us, 3 more sessions to start the revolution, fight the revolution, and have the conclusion of the revolution. How many of you want that? Or do you want us to move on to Thorn and try to rescue poor Torvald and Diptha, who have been captured by the orcs this whole time? Olsvach makes me nervous as heck.
Yeah. It's on edge.
Yeah.
Rocking a hard place.
You stay as long as you want, as long as your next mission is save
Jorl. Yeah, Jorl.
Poor Jorl.
Oh, Jorl. Poor Jorl keeps
getting.
We're coming to you next, buddy, and then he gets moved down the list. Okay, but this time you're next, dude. Okay, we got one more stop, and then we're on to you, Jorl.
Yeah. Don't worry, we're coming.
And also, Diptha.
Yeah. Diptha and Torvald. Yeah.
I feel like we've been telling them we're on.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Yeah. And here's Olsvach and here's Thorn. It's literally right there. So it would be a shame. I don't know. I would love to lead the revolution. I would love for us to do that. I would absolutely love that. But I also think that there's a chance, and this is something that I said to Morgan, and I think there's somebody else there. I don't remember who else was there when we were drinking beer, but Morgan and I were talking about this. I said to him, maybe this is a way for Jeff to push us out of the city. He's saying, if you don't leave, these people are going to be punished. So you need to get out now. They're hunting you. You're the one that did something wrong. You're the one that started this. If you don't get out of this city, then all these people are going to suffer.
Well, I think that's what I would have said had I been invited to this beer party. And if I had been there.
Had you been there?
Had I been there?
And had you shared some wings with me?
If I had shared some wings with you and been there and engaged in this conversation.
Yeah. What would you say? It's
also us being like, we want to help, right? But sometimes actually it's more helpful to not get in the middle. Like, I don't know, like, is us trying to fix it going to make it worse?
True.
Within the city,
True.
Is us getting involved going to cause more innocent people to get hurt or die, or can we get out and be like, look, we're over here, chase us this way?
Yeah. A concerned citizen of Iron is saying, but do you have to turn yourself in to end it, not just leave? That's what we're talking about, is leaving and then making it known that we're no longer there, because then they won't have to punish the people of Lower Strana.
I don't know how we do that, like how we let it known that we're no longer there.
James just casts a greater image or illusion, and in just a giant blinking sign, the heroes of Bingle have left Allspot.
We're out.
Yeah. Peace.
Is there a way to leave like a video message?
Yeah. Or we could just send something to the Ashen Mage, like, you need to call off your hounds, we're no longer there.
I mean,
she's the one pulling the strings.
She also probably knows where we are.
Right. At this point, yes. Yes.
I feel like we're flattering ourselves that she has no idea where we are.
She literally has like a tablet or an iPhone or something, some magical device where she just boop, 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 and she can see us all, what we're doing, where we're going.
Crafton Crunch says, fake your own deaths.
That's a great idea. I love that idea.
I'm not beyond that. I am not beyond faking your own death.
That's an awesome idea, actually. I'll pitch it.
Okay. Oh, David Gempro had a question for me. Lily's Don't Split the Party song is always relevant. I noted at one point in episode 82, the party was split a record 4 ways. Many of the splits seem impulsive, Civ running off to warn the vermin, even as a giant horn is warning everyone, Fahima flying after meat, etc. Aside from repeating the song, any plans to prevent future impulsive, non-tactical party splits? Well, I can't tell people what to do.
You can. They just won't necessarily listen.
Yeah. I mean, but I also think that this is a very different situation, because though these seemed impulsive, we're put in a pressure cooker basically of like, we have to act fast because we're in a very dangerous situation, and
we gambled, we lost, now we're paying the price. These are the repercussions. And Jeff, that's his style of DMing. He's like, there's consequences for everything you do. Don't think there's a single choice that you make in this game that doesn't have consequences.
Yeah. And consequences, one of us dying is a much easier consequence than it affecting a whole city. I do think we have some communication things we got to work out within our party.
What are you talking about? We're so great at communicating. This is what I think needs to happen. I think everybody that can learn the sending spell has to learn the sending spell.
That's true.
We need to get a magical wand. Jeff, if you're watching, we need a magical wand of sending so that no matter what happens, we can always beep, 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 communicate with each other.
Yeah, I have message, but it's not that far. So
yeah. Message is a great spell.
It's great. It's also a cantrip, so it's just like
it's a freebie. It's a freebie walkie-talkie. Almost.
Very useful. Definitely needed in a lot of our situations.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing that Lily is seeing and would like to work on is that we're moving so fast that people are coming up with plans in their head in the party of like, this is what I know we got to do, and then being like, I got a plan, and then not explaining the plan to the rest of the party.
Sure.
And I think that's where we've gotten in some situations where we're like half aware of what's. Yeah. Some of us aren't really sure the best tactics because we move in only knowing half the strategy.
Right. Yeah, I completely agree. I definitely think that's one of our main issues. Isn't necessarily splitting the party; it's communication. Because if we were communicating, then we might not split the party as much, or we wouldn't be split for as long. So I do agree with you there.
It goes back to our talk about plans earlier of like also going with the flow with, you could have a plan, but maybe your plan's going to get altered a little bit because everyone's going to have ideas. So like, you got to be flexible also because you're a party, not a single person.
Yeah, and it's insanely dangerous for you to be off on your own. Like Civ knows that. He knows that he's taking a risk and that he's exposed. But he also knows that there was no way that Uggo and Lily and James were going to be able to get to the vermin in time without being seen, and then having there be a big fight in the middle of High Strana.
Right.
You know, so
Yeah, not the stealthiest bunch altogether.
Right. The stealth thing.
Also, I would have had been carried because I'd be so slow behind everyone.
Maybe that's our issue. Maybe we just need to be a stealthier party. Maybe we need to figure out a way to increase the stealthiness of the group.
It would help.
Yeah. Pass Without Trace is an amazing spell. It's an amazing spell and it's low level. I don't think anybody can take it yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think I can.
Yeah. No, Pass Without Trace is normally like a ranger druid thing.
I'd have to multi-class, which...
Yeah. For those of you that don't know what Pass Without Trace does, it not only makes it to where you don't leave a trace behind so you can't really be tracked, but it also increases your stealth roll by +10.
It increases up to 5 people, I think.
Yeah, so your whole party can be sneaky. Yeah.
Damic 5 says, I think the heroes of Bengal need to set up a buddy system. Lily said, we need like a count off. All right, is everybody here? 1?
Yeah, there's 5 of us though, so one of us would be buddy-less. Guess who that would be?
Are you self-selecting as the buddyless one?
No. Actually, maybe, because Lily and Uggo would actually probably make more sense to be buddies, and then the 2 wizards. So I guess, yeah, I would be the solo. I would be the buddyless.
Josephine, you're totally right. I could have taken it at level 6 because of the college where you can take 2 non-bard spells, but I took that's when I took Spirit Guardians and Healing Spirit.
Yeah, which we have used and have come in very handy. So
yeah. But that would have been a great time to take Pass Without Trace. And if you're playing a bard, that's an amazing moment at level 6. You can take any 2 spells.
Right. I feel like we should be able to get a Pass Without Trace magical item because that's a low spell. That's a 1st level spell. So we might be able to... You can't
take it? No?
No, because I only have... I'm only a wizard initiate. So I only get the 1 spell. I would have to take a level of some kind of spell casting thing, like a level of druid or something. And Civ's wisdom is still like 8. He's not gonna ever be a priest or a druid or a ranger. So yeah, magical items. That's
your wisdom. I wish you wrote poems that seemed really, really, really deep, but just didn't make
They're
sense.
Super shallow instead. I'm playing him as street smart.
Beer. Yeah. Beer's made in a cask.
Yeah. I'm playing him as street smart. So he's seen a lot, he's done a lot, he's gotten himself in a lot of trouble. But he's not, he's smart but not wise.
Who else, Elliot? Yes, Shadow Monks do get Pass Without a Trace because I'm playing a Shadow Monk in a game on Hello Goodberry channel right now.
There you go.
And
how's that going?
It's really fun.
Yeah.
I'm playing a monk because I'm very intimidated by monks. Because the whole
monks are tricky.
The key point thing is tricky for my brain, but it's going well.
Yeah.
We're not super high level. I think I've hesitated to play in one-offs because you tend to be a higher level and it's hard to jump into something like that if you've not played it before. When you have so much stuff.
Sure.
To start with for me.
Yeah.
But we're level 3, so it's not bad.
Oh yeah, level 3 is manageable.
Okay.
Monks are probably, and no offense to anybody out there that absolutely loves monks, that's one of my least favorite classes in 5th edition. I liked monks in older editions because I love playing martial artsy type characters. But in 5th edition, I feel like they've had a hard time figuring out like a good balance niche that they feel, and they feel a little imbalanced. Like there are monks that are really powerful and there are other types of subclasses of monks that are just terrible.
Is there any errata for the monks, or is it?
Oh yeah. They've tried to fix it some. Like they've tried to fix the fact that they sort of nerfed rangers a little bit because rangers used to be
the errata for rangers
really
is
powerful.
The ranger chapter in the 5e book is like tiny compared to every other chapter. But when I played Gus, I just did it with the new pages that they made, and they're pretty powerful now.
They are now, yes. They brought them back up, but for a while there, they nerfed them, and I think it was because older editions, Rangers used to be insanely powerful because they were one of the only classes that could fight with 2 weapons. well. And so they were just these damage dealing slice and dice, plus they had all their cool ranger abilities and they were pseudo stealthy. And I mean, they were just a great all around awesome class. And they had ranged attacks that were really good. Like you could fight with a bow from afar as well. Yeah. So yeah.
I like playing a ranger. I think it's really fun.
Rangers are great. They're a ton of fun.
Who else? Elliot says the new optional rules help with the healing abilities and the key fueled attacks.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've read that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to look at it.
Yeah.
Okay. More questions.
Yeah.
Uncle CW. Katie killing it with the common sense decision on the manacles. We have all had those moments where the obvious solutions make you feel a little dumb. What are some of your overthinking D&D moments that you will shake your head at?
Oh, that's a great question.
It's a really great question. I feel like we've had a couple in this.
The whole moment where we thought for sure that the pirate captain, what's his name? Not Whitebeard, but the other guy, his son. Chat, help me out here.
Oh yeah, I can't think of it either.
I'm spacing on this.
Who's Whitebeard's son?
Yeah, that's our trivia question for today. Mervis Blowhard.
No, Mervis.
So when we thought for sure that there was something twisted and evil going on with him, and we spent all that time and energy, especially Fahima and I, sneaking into his place and breaking into that cabinet, and then we opened the cabinet only to find the collection of piggy banks and like the picture of
it was basically his locker.
Right.
High school locker. Yeah.
Picture of what was her name? Gal or Gail?
Feisty Gale.
Hammersmith or whatever.
Hammersmith.
Yeah. And then
Banks.
Jessica, and then Jessica turned to me and she was like, "So what does this mean?" And I was like, "It means we were wrong." Yeah. That was one of those moments.
Of course, it's just this.
Yeah.
I feel like we've talked ourselves into circles about things that were pretty straightforward before. I'm trying to think of other examples.
Oh yeah. I did that too. I was checking doors. My favorite, Jessica says, Morgan checking all the doors in the 4 former forges. I was also checking doors until after a while, Jeff was like, "I'm not going to have any traps in there." But then later on in Olsvat, she had a trap.
Where?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
You were confident about it.
Yeah, no, he did. Help me out, chat. There was the trap. Let me think about
in the sewers or in?
Was it in the sewers? Yes, it was the sewers. When I opened the thing and the water gushed down, that was essentially a trap. It wasn't like a big nasty "I'm gonna kill you" trap, but it's still a trap.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't like a life or death trap. I feel like, it's.
But that's essentially a door that I didn't check, and then look what happened.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
And
they were just hallways on the other side.
Yes, the hallway thing was hilarious.
Flute. The flute's a great example.
Yeah. That was awesome.
That
was one of the best moments early on in the show, though, was when she was like, "Oh yeah, I have like a whole bag of those flutes. Here you go, honey."
Jeff was so satisfied.
Yeah, I died. That was hilarious. That was one of those gotcha moments.
The look on my face. It's because I was shocked. That was the first time Jeff had done anything like that.
Yeah. Other than the Star Wars joke, the Castle Run, 12 parsecs.
The reason he did the show, you mean?
Yeah, the whole reason he did the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I don't know why he's doing the show. I guess he's just building up to yet another one of those pun jokes.
Yeah, I think we probably had more moments like this that we can even remember.
Oh, for sure. Mr. Whisper's voice was hilarious too. Yeah. I want Mr. Whispers to talk more, but I can't talk to him. Fahima has to talk to him. So we'll have to make that happen at some point.
We'll just need Fahima to talk to Mr. Whispers so we can hear his silky smooth vocals.
I'll just not respond to when James sends me a sending, and then he'll do ascending to Mr. Whispers, and then Jeff gets 25 words as Mr. Whispers.
Vanilla Silk, shiny Epipud. Is
Yeah.
Vanilla Silk Jeff, or is it Mr. Whispers? Which I guess is the same
Probably
thing.
both. Yeah, both.
Jeff is Mr. Whispers.
Scroll, let's
Mr.
speak with
Whispers,
animals,
Mr. Whispers. That's a good vocal warm-up.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
All right, next question.
Okay, next question. I think this is the last one from our Patreon questions. And if you
Cool,
put
then
one
I can
in
just
last
talk about
minute,
beer.
yeah, we're just talking about beer for the last 5 minutes. David Jen Pro, again, coming in with all these good questions. I love the unpredictability of the dungeon run. Are there acting challenges associated with the at times wild shifts in tone? For example, in episode 82, going straight from Civ's straight up premeditated guard murder, trauma, and fire setting to the comedy Gold of Lily and Fahima's meeting.
That's a good question.
It is a great question. I think I guess it is an acting challenge of, I think that for me anyway, one of the things I try to challenge us to do is to keep that balance of tone though. Because I think we've had episodes that are so sad, and I watch those and it's like, even though they're like good, the episodes that I love the most are the ones where we're able to shift the tone.
Yeah, you get both. You get
so the challenge is paying attention to it, being in the moment enough, but also being able to pay attention and be like, all right, we're getting real emo.
Yeah.
Let's bring it up for a second.
Yeah, it's tempting. And I think Jeff, I think we all do a pretty good job of trying to find the balance between the two. Because you also don't want it to just be ha-ha, jokey, joke the entire time. I've seen D&D shows that are like that, and they're fun. They're fun little, breaks and what have you. But if you have a long campaign, I think it's so much more rewarding to have both, to be able to see the light and the dark and in between, the humor and the seriousness,
Well, I also think the thing that is the challenge of it for me is it's different than I might play a game at home, right?
Sure. Because it's going to be more lighthearted at home, probably.
Yeah, but we're creating a story every week, right. And I think it's more fun. We're also creating a story that we hope people are enjoying watching.
Sure.
And so it's more fun to watch if you have moments of levity and moments of seriousness, all hopefully grounded within good character work. Right. Then you can have the ups and downs.
Yeah.
I find that more fun to watch.
Yeah, personally. And I think that comes from the fact that we've been doing this long enough now. And we understand, like I was saying, not only do we understand our character strength, but we understand the strengths of the other actors that we're playing with and we're telling this communal story with. And
right.
And we know, like, you start to feel it. You start to feel the groove.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rhythm. That's a great way to put it too.
Yeah.
It's
like making music. Okay. The whole show is like making music.
Yeah. And that's why Fiasco is fun as well. Because then we can literally cut and edit scenes and start a whole new scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fiasco's that's a fun challenge because we're playing with people that we know really well, but we're all playing different characters. So it's fun to challenge yourself to be like, oh, this is this character versus Civ, or this is,
totally.
Because we play as a group in the same characters so often. And breaking out of it is the fun. I
feel like in Fiasco, you tend to end up being the badass, though.
I don't know why.
I think that's a recurring theme. I think
next time, I'm gonna be a real doof.
Yeah, that's usually me.
You always just end up getting killed. I feel terrible.
Yeah. It's because I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
You don't want to kill the person who's like really, worried or invested, or is driving for something, and before they can get that payoff, you whack them. Yeah. But I feel like I get thrown into, usually in Fiasco, I get thrown into the fire. I jump around for a bit. I make some mistakes, some intentional, some unintentional, and then I die.
And then I die.
Yeah. Yeah. But I honestly think that also just comes from a place of like, I trust you guys, and I trust the fact that if my character is going to die, it's going to be for a reason. And then I get to do things like bring vampires into the story for no reason whatsoever. Other than
I love
vampires.
You love to keep us on our toes.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a couple more questions that popped up.
Oh, great.
One popped up in the Patreon from Whisper Josephine. Was the Civ Lily relationship planned from the beginning, or did it just grow organically as the show went on?
Yeah, it was
nothing was planned from the beginning.
Yeah, nothing at all. There was legitimate moments where I was like, I'm gonna try this, and you could totally have just rejected me. You could have just been like, nope, not interested. In fact, there was a whole episode where Amy came on and sang a song, and it did not go well. It did not go well. And you could see it on my face. I was like, okay.
I felt so bad as Katie in that moment. And then afterwards, I was like, I'm sorry, Jared. This is not about you.
No, I'm not taking it personally.
I know.
But that's what's fun. That's what's interesting. That's when you take those risks, you know, you take those chances. And you don't know.
When Civ read the poem to Lily, that was the first time I had any inkling that anything was happening with that. You can watch my face. I was like, what? Oh, because what did you say? It was because I held your hand, right?
It's because, you said you essentially brought me back from my fear of feeling like I was cursed. Like I made this huge mistake, and you were like, hey, we need you. Mm-hmm. We can't lose you right now, you know? And that's when I think it dawned on him. That was the aha moment. And then it only took another episode or two where he was like, oh, this is more than just another friend. You know, this is somebody that I'm starting to develop feelings for. And I want this to go somewhere. And I want to commit to something, which is not something that Civ ever saw himself doing, you know? And it was around the time that I was also hitting 3rd level and choosing swashbuckler. And I was like, what kind of swashbuckler do I want to be? And it dawned on me, Cyrano, you know? And Cyrano has a muse, you know? There's definitely some huge differences between Cyrano and Civ, don't get me wrong. Right. They're not the same cat, so to speak.
Whisper Josephine says she felt like it was the Civ Lily thing was since episode 1. It was subtle, but there. She's surprised.
Maybe.
I mean, our characters were all getting to know each other, so it might have been there a little bit, but we really did not know each other. That first episode, we had all played together the night before.
Right. Session 0 at Jessica's place.
Yeah. So I saw another question come through. I just want to try and find it really quick. Bum, 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 bum. How do you feel production is going so far? With it being a little over a month into the new setup. What do you like, and what would you like to change? Well, I think it's going well. I think we're pleased that we're able to keep doing the show at all.
Yeah. And you guys make that possible, so thank you.
I mean, I think we would all love to be back in a studio, but
of course,
that is just a bigger production.
Yeah.
So I think we would all love that, but I'm not sure when that will be.
We need the space, we need the money, we need the equipment, we need the set. Yeah. There's a lot of things that need to happen before.
It jumps up quickly once you go into a studio, because also Los Angeles space is hot commodity.
Yeah, the real estate in LA is no joke.
Yeah, but so that's what it is. But I think so far it's felt pretty good. It's just fun that we get to continue, and you all have been so supportive and made us feel really great about it.
Yeah, I mean, the whole reason why we get to continue doing the show is because of you guys. And you know, when Caffeine pulled the plug, that was a hard time. was a really hard time for me, especially.
Mm-hmm.
And we all had to work our butts off to, negotiate to make this happen, and then to keep it going as well. It's, it's a job. It's a company. We started a company.
Friendly Undead Mage says when they hit the lotto, they'll set us up. Don't worry. So that's great. That's great insurance.
Yeah.
Shafrikas says we can do it in their living room in LA. So that's an option. Ahoy Gingerbread says just move the cast to the Midwest. Listen, we've got options here. Just uproot everyone to the Midwest.
I think
the dungeon run from a garage. Listen, we're not against a garage, but LA does get over 100 degrees a lot.
Yeah, especially in the valley.
So I don't think you want to watch a show where we're all passing out.
Yeah, just sweating. Shirtless. Although some people might like that.
It's a very different show, let's just say that.
Yeah.
Very, very, very different.
Yeah.
So many people want us to go to the Midwest. I mean,
I have a hard time believing that that most of the cast would be okay with the Midwest.
Scotty CC83 says I'll set you up in a pub in my hometown in England. All the cask ale you can drink.
Boom. I'm down for that. I just got to talk my wife into moving there. How are the schools in the UK? I hear the schools are pretty good. I would love for little Logan to grow up with a British accent. That would make my day.
Oh, little Logan with a British accent?
Yeah.
I would love it.
Even if it was like a Cockney,
Daddy!
Daddy, are we going to play D&D?
That's your dream phrase that your son will say to you someday.
Yeah. Oh, right? I already know with my luck, my son is going to be a total bro. He's gonna be. I mean, I played a lot of sports,
motorcycles and fixing cars.
Yeah. Dad, I just got to get my wheels. Come on, Dad. I want to go to the beach and hit some waves.
Yeah.
I don't want to play with your stupid books and your little metal men. They're called miniatures. Yeah, whatever.
They're called miniatures. You watch your mouth. This is a weird prediction of the future of your parenting.
Yeah.
But also, I love that his voice is like very Stevie.
Deep. Yeah.
Dad. I just gotta surf.
I just gotta surf. I just gotta hang 10, Dad.
Dad, I'm not a grasp my hand says, Dad, I'm not a drama nerd like you.
Yeah, that could happen.
It most likely will. I have 4 brothers and none of us do the same thing.
You mean you all do different stuff, or their kids are all different from one another?
Well, their kids are different, but we all of us have different professions.
I see. So what do your brothers do? What are their professions?
My oldest brother is a chief law judge in Washington State.
Wow.
My brother down from that was a pro cyclist, like bicyclists, and now works in sales for bicycles. My brother below that, we all make fun of him because we think he's in the CIA because none of us understand his job, but he works translating languages for textbooks and creating curriculum.
Oh.
In other languages.
Does he know a lot of languages?
He does, but it's more knowing like the formatting of it. So he speaks like Arabic, French, Spanish, and Hausa.
Hausa? What is Hausa? I don't even know what Hausa is.
It's a language in Niger.
Wow.
It's like one of the.
That's super impressive.
Languages.
Sounds like we should have him on as a guest.
And then there's me.
And then there's the actor that moved to LA.
And then my little brother is a machinist and plays steel guitar.
Wait, you have a brother younger than you who plays steel guitar?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, so all very different.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I could say the same thing. My sister and brother are very, very different.
What do they do?
My older sister she's like a consultant for businesses. So if they want to increase diversity, or if they want to, she's working with a program right now where she's getting ex-cons like job placement or like education so they can go back into the workforce. So that's kind of what she does, but she also works as a consultant for businesses. So if a business is like, hey, we want to have more diversity, or we want more women, or, you know, everybody that works here looks the same and is from the same area or whatever, and then she helps them facilitate all of that. Yeah.
Awesome.
And she loves it. And then my brother is actually a principal at a school.
Wow.
Yeah. Which is hilarious because he got in more trouble in school than any of us did.
He probably is a knowledgeable principal. He knows what people are up to.
Yeah, for sure.
Hi, Dadpool. You're allowed to be late. You're allowed to be whenever you want. I saw someone else says that they missed it. I think to recap, someone said they missed what your thoughts were. Oh, there's the fail waffle. Yeah. Did Ziv talk about his thoughts on what's going on in Lostrana? We can recap really quick before we sign off our thoughts.
Recap everything we just talked about. So Cask Ale is delicious.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Jared, you have 1 minute to recap everything from this episode.
Okay. Cask Ale is delicious. Mm-hmm. We need to stop splitting the party. We need to communicate better. Civ is legitimately worried about his friends, and that's why he's going and doing what he's doing. I don't know what I'm going to do when I get there because I don't know what Jeff has planned. I don't think anybody does. The rest of the group wants to stop what's happening because they care about the people of Olsvach and the fact that now everyone's being punished because of the things that we triggered. And 10
seconds.
Lily and Fahima need to work on demon disguises. I don't know.
Good job.
Yeah, there's something else in there, I'm sure. And Detroit is a great city. It's an amazing place. Everybody
and getting some rings of sendings made also.
Yes,
from the Undead Mage said, getting rings of sending made.
Yes, rings of sending or wands of sending, and pass without trace. We need to get some pass without trace, sneaky, stealthy.
All right. I think we got into it.
Yeah, I think we touched everything, or we talked about everything we could. Oh, and Civ and Lily's relationship was not planned.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Totally organic.
Hyper RPG is rating us, and we're about ready to.
Oh no.
In the show.
Oh no. Oh, we're rating her.
Oh, even better.
We're rating them. Okay. Thank you everyone so much for coming. We love you. We'll see you on Wednesday.
6 p.m. Pacific.
6 p.m. to see what's going to happen in Low Strana and High Strana. All the Stranas.
So tune in Wednesday.
Happy Monday.